Hi everyone, my name is Amber, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just going to be chatting with you about the books that I've bought so far this year and how I want to read them, because I am a reader and a booktuber and I should read the books that I buy. So recently I was adding all of the books that I'd bought this year so far onto my spreadsheet, my reading spreadsheet, which isn't something that I have done before. I was just very curious about how many books I was buying and how much I was spending on books, and I wanted to kind of report it at the end of the year. And then I realised that I had actually already read quite a few books of the books that I was bringing in this year already. Not loads, but quite a few, so I was very pleased with that. But then I also thought that maybe I could do better. I spoke about this at the beginning of the year, but I was trying to read a certain amount of books for every book that I brought in, or maybe is that sentence supposed to be the other way around? For every 3 books that I was reading from my physical TBR, I was allowing myself to buy 1 book, and that quickly went out of the window. I'm not going to lie, I think by March I'd given up on that challenge, which is fine. I'm happy with that, I'm not stressing out about it, but I did keep buying more and more books. And so I thought, while I was looking at my bookshelf and kind of arranging things, I should be trying to read the ones that I'm bringing in, because I am currently very excited to read them, but I know that the longer that they sit on my TBR shelf, the more easily I'm going to ignore them in the future. Because I'm pretty sure this is the same for most people, is that when you first buy a book, you're super excited for it, you want to read it straight away. As you leave it sat there and bring more and more books in, you get more excited about the newer books, and then you start to forget what you already own, or you just don't get the same kind of buzz from the books that you've already bought. So to combat this, I've decided that this year I'm going to, for the rest of the year, sorry, I'm going to set myself a challenge, and I thought I would tell you about it to hold myself accountable and so that I could look back on this in a few months time and see how I did. So to give you the stats, I bought 51 books in 2021, at least so far. I'm not putting myself on any kind of book buying restriction, but I'm going to talk about that in a second. So I've bought 51 books so far and I have read 17 of them, so I've read 33%, so 1/3. I think that is really good. I'm very pleased with that. Actually, I was actually quite surprised that it was so high. So I am reading the books as I bring them in, just not all of them. I'm doing kind of a backwards 1 in 3, whereas it should be the other way around. So ideally, I decided that I would like to get above 75%. So I would like to read 3/4 of the books that I brought in 2021 by the end of the year. That means that I have to read 38 books altogether out of the 51, unless I start bringing in more books. To be honest, I think that's quite achievable. I don't think I would have a problem reading 21 more books, because we've got 4 months left of the year. That would be what, 5 books a month roughly. That is definitely achievable for me. So let me just quickly show you the books that I still have to read that I have bought this year. I've got them all set up on a shelf so I can look at them constantly. I can make sure that they are at the forefront of my mind and that I am definitely going to be reading them. So this is them. I don't know how long this clip is going to be, so I'm just going to carry on talking. I haven't put the ones that I've already read here. Obviously this is my TBR shelf, but look at it, it's beautiful. And these are the books that I'm going to be choosing from as priority TBR reads. You may have seen my September TBR and you may have noticed that it is full of physical books, and that is because I've been planning to do this sort of challenge for the end of the year, and September is the first month I can do that in. So these are the books that are on my September TBR that I have brought in this year. We have, what, 7 books here that I would really like to read. This takes up the majority of my September TBR. So as far as my goal is going so far, even though September has only just begun, it's going well. I'm very excited about all of these. I have to admit, the 2 thrillers here, The Chestnut Man and Husband's Secret, I'm not quite so excited for, and White House Farm and The Unbroken are ones that I bought quite a while ago, so I can feel my enthusiasm for those starting to slip, which is why I think that this is a really good challenge for me to do for the end of the year, so that I can get to these books while I'm still really keen on reading them. The Mountain Sing, Dune and Ace of Spades I'm so excited for. These are ones that I bought very recently. I got them in August, I think, perhaps the end of July, and so I'm going to have no problems reading those at all. I will be allowing myself to mood read if I need to, as long as I can fulfill the readathon prompts that I'm doing. I'm doing the Magical Readathon in September and the Monopoly one that I still can't pronounce, so I have some prompts for that, but I should have a good selection of books from my physical TBR from 2021 if I need them. But yeah, these are the ones I'm going to be focusing on, and then next month I'm going to choose probably 7 more books to try to get to, because I want to carry on reading about the same amount of owned physical books per month. I also really want to carry on focusing on my backlist TBR as well, because obviously I have a load of books from prior to 2021 that I still haven't read yet, and I don't want to neglect those just for new releases. I just think it would be quite important for me to start 2022 with a clean slate, or as clean of a slate as I kind of envision it to be. I don't mind if there are some books that carry over. There are a couple of non-fiction books that I don't think I'm going to fit in by the end of the year, just because I'm not entirely sure I'm going to be in the mood for them, or I'm not going to have time to really get tucked in. There's one massive chunky one in particular that I'm thinking of right now that I think will run into 2022 for sure, which is why I only set my goal as 75% of the books that I buy. And then in terms of purchasing new books, like I said earlier on in the video, I'm not putting myself on any kind of book buying restriction or ban. However, I have realised since deciding I was going to start this challenge about 3 weeks ago now, that whenever I go into bookshops or charity shops, I don't buy books. I think for me, I'm very much thinking about this challenge when I go into a bookshop now, and when I'm browsing through books, I'm wondering and thinking to myself, am I going to read this or be able to read this by the end of the year? And so I haven't bought any new books since deciding to do this challenge, not because I've restricted myself or told myself I'm not going to buy any, but I'm actually making a conscious decision. I'm deciding on the spot that perhaps this isn't one that I need right now. It's not one that I'm going to read by the end of the year, or if I did buy it, then it's just going to sit there for a while in favour of these other books that I want to read. So it's actually working out really well for me. Even though I don't think I necessarily need to be on a book buying restriction or ban, I would like to allow myself to take the time to read the books that I have already bought, and so I don't need to buy masses and masses of books. I've also realised there aren't too many new releases coming out in the remaining months of the year that I particularly want to read. There are a couple that I've got my eye on, but there are none that I absolutely have to buy straight away, or that I feel like I have to buy straight away. So that's also really helping. I think come January there'll probably be a lot of books I've decided that I want to read and do want to pick up, but for now I'm not overly keen on picking up too many. So already this challenge is working out really well. I haven't read any of these books that I've just lifted up yet. September is only just starting. I haven't yet made any progress, but I think I might do maybe a monthly or bi-monthly check-in, so I can do 2 more of these videos and let you know how these go. If I don't do monthly check-ins, then I'll definitely let you know how it goes by the end of the year, and we can see if this was a win or a total fail. I'm leaning towards it being a win for now because, like I said, I'm already very enthusiastic about this challenge and I can't really see it going wrong, but you know, there's always a chance that it might. So that's all I really wanted to talk about for now, is my own personal challenge. Let me know if you're doing anything like this, or if you would like to join me on this adventure, then let me know, because I would love it if I had some people to cheer me on, and we can maybe do a group chat, make a group chat, and we can all support each other as we try to meet these goals. Obviously, if you don't want to do 75% of the books that you've read so far this year, you could do a lower number. You could do 50% or 25 if you're really not all that ambitious, or maybe you want to aim for 100, which would be very impressive. So thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you want to take part in this challenge, or if you don't, then let me know how many books you have bought so far this year. I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all in the next video. Bye.